I've just got off the phone with Mother. Terribly distressed she was. All my fault, as usual. She asks, "Where are you?" I replied that I'd just got in from Morrison's, was going to get a bite to eat, and then I'll be heading out to my committee meeting for the annual Kinley Village turnip tossing tournament, the tombola being my area of responsibility this year. "Oh," she says. I asked her why, and she said that she'd been expecting me and wondered where I was. Waited in all day especially. "Mother," I said, "at no point did I say I'd be paying you a visit today. Keith has the denim blue Mercedes-Benz SLK with sat-nav and cruise control anyway, so I can't get to you." I then pointed out that she is homebound and wouldn't be going anywhere anyway, so I hardly call that waiting in especially. Turns out that because I visited her last week and the week before, due to the committee meeting being cancelled and Keith not being at his weekly synchronised aqua salsa class, my presence is expected. Somehow I appear to have accidentally become contractually obliged to visit on this day at this time every week until one of us dies. I wouldn't mind, but I go twice a week already. Dread it at that. Well, no, that's not fair. I enjoy getting to see her, but when I'm there, nothing but moaning about the home help. The cleaner doesn't clean how she cleans. The Meals on Wheels don't make meals how she would. Even the window cleaner is getting a bad name now, and she's used him for over 20 years. Calls himself Mr. Bit. Tongue-in-cheek, I know, but you should hear Mother now. "Oh, I should have known by his name. The signs were there. He's always missing bits." The remarkable thing is she never did them herself. Neither did Daddy, so it's not like she could do it better, especially now in her decrepit condition. She makes me feel ever so fraught. My nerves are on edge after every visit, and she won't be told. I keep asking her to get her ears checked. Will she listen? Will she buggery? I asked last week, after Halloween, "Have you had many trick-or-treaters?" And her response was, "I've had cream cheese." And she says there's nothing wrong with her ears. Keith keeps saying that we should put her in a home, something we actually both agree on. But she's insistent on staying at the bungalow. She won't have it. She'll be 93 in June. I picked out a truly stunning nursing home in Wattonwood. Oh, yes. The very la-di-da part, if you please, just off Ashton Avenue. Grade 2 listed building. She'd have 24-hour care around the clock. They don't even call them old people now. They call them residents. She'd have her own apartment. They have several eateries. Even have a pub on site, if you can believe it. It's called the Fuzzy Cardigan. They have entertainment, a gym, not that I could see Mother using that, of course, but there is a spa too, and I could see her now, lolling by the pool with a pina colada, having them wait on her hand and foot. They even have a hair and nail salon. Now, don't get me wrong, this type of treatment does not come cheap. Plus, Wattonwood is a little further out for us too. But I would much rather visit her there. The bungalow, she's done her best, but it's tired. It's time for a new lease of life. It's 4 bedrooms, so a decent size, on a lovely plot, at least an acre, I'd say. Has a nice driveway up to it, set back from the road. Managed to fit 7 cars on there one Christmas, 2 of which were SUVs, and 1 an estate. The pond would have to go, of course, far too much maintenance, and Mother has let it go somewhat. The kitchen could easily be extended out, with those stunning roof windows installed and a walnut top island directly underneath. Bifold doors out onto the flagstone patio. Oh, It sounds a task, I know, but with the sale of our home, we could have the financial resources required to undertake the work to complete satisfaction. And still put Mother in a home. It would be perfect. No, though. She has to scupper our plans and remain in situ. She always has been very selfish, though. Selfish, vain, judgmental, snobbish. You know the type. You know, I don't know how Daddy coped with her for all those years. She killed him, you know. Oh, yes. Such an awful way to go. There was a squirrel. It ran down the tree and across the road. Fifi the Third clocked it, yanking the lead on Daddy and dragging him across the road, just as a lorry came by, clipping him. But thankfully not killing him. Disorientated, he then trips on the curb, falls and impales himself through his left eye on the spike of a neighbour's iron railing. He slid his face back up off the railing as Fifi the Third was still pulling on the lead. And then he tripped over a bicycle on the pavement, a BMX, yellow, and bounced off a tree, cracking his head on the concrete. By the time he got to his feet, he realised that he'd let go of the lead completely. As he searched for Fifi the Third, it was then that he had an unexpected and fatal heart attack. It was quick, thankfully, so at least he didn't suffer. I imagine that he was worked up and in a panic about going back and telling Mother that he'd lost Fifi the Third. She'd have killed him. She loved that cat. However, it was her turn to walk it, not his. She said she couldn't be bothered, so Daddy went, and then this happened to him, when it should have been her. Had it been Daddy now alive instead, he'd have gone into a home, I know he would. Or at least have the decency to die so I could have my inheritance now. He was a thoughtful man. Although, it was that considerate nature of his that led to his death in the first place. He always let her control him. She's very domineering. I'm just pleased that I managed to distance myself from her earlier enough in life so that I didn't become her. Could you have imagined? Oh, Keith doesn't know how lucky he is.